All right, Mother Flowers, let's keep it 100. If you're someone that went to New Orleans for WrestleMania weekend, this is the part of the trip where you are exhausted. This is the part of the trip where you just want to go home already. And you also are reflecting on how awesome New Orleans was. That being said, my thoughts overall on the Raw after Mania, which essentially is considered to be the greatest Raw of all time of the entire calendar year. You have every single fan base from all over the world in one arena going crazy and insane. Even though at the same time, we've got some build-up towards Backlash already starting. We have some build-up as well to the greatest Royal Rumble event taking place on the WWE Network in Saudi Arabia in a couple of weeks. And also we got some call-ups from NXT, and next week we are getting the Superstar shakeup. Oh boy. But overall, I thought Raw tonight was a pretty good Raw. But at the same time, I'm gonna say this, and this is just my honest opinion, take it for what it's worth. I felt like the ending of Raw was missing something. I don't know about you guys, but that's how I felt about it. But as always, guys, what is up, Mother Flowers? It is me, it's Steve, and I'm back at with a new video. Thank you for watching the video, tuning in back into the channel. If you're new here, Mother Flowers, hit that subscribe button down below. We are almost at 1,600 subscribers. Let's get there. Let's get there, all right? Also, while you're at it, give this video a big old thumbs up. Mother Flowers, share this video throughout your entire social media, Facebook and Twitter, or wherever you Mother Flowers share videos. You can also follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven, where I tweet throughout Raw, SmackDown Live, NXT, pay-per-views, and above all else with each and every single one of you sick, crazy Mother Flowers. Last night, I did do a live WrestleMania review, recap video, or stream if you will. It was live on the channel. It's up on the archives. If you have not watched that yet, go out and watch it. I understand that my microphone was low for some reason, so hopefully I fixed it. I don't know if it is or not. I have to watch this again in the playback as I edit or as upload period. But anywho, as the title below says, this is my Raw review for April the 9th, 2018. Like I said, this was the Raw after Mania in New Orleans, and everyone went insane. Like I said, we got built to the pay-per-view coming up in a couple of weeks or next month. We got built to that network special in Saudi Arabia. We got some call-ups and some returns. But as always, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment threads. So the show kicked off with Stephanie McMahon coming to the ring with her arm in a sling. She's literally selling the arm injury from the armbar, if you will, from Ronda Rousey from last night's WrestleMania. She took credit for Ronda's, success for a great debut in the ring last night at WrestleMania. She then went on to welcome Ronda Rousey to the ring. She said that if Rousey was a smart businesswoman, she should partner up with Stephanie McMahon, and they can do great things together. She went on to call Ronda Rousey a friend, and they went for a handshake, and then they hugged. And somewhere in this, right, Rousey goes all happy, like, hey, yeah, we're embracing. And then she goes into beast mode again. She takes down Stephanie McMahon, takes the sling off the arm, and locks in the armbar once again as Stephanie was screaming in pain, screaming in agony. Keep this in mind, at the same time, right? At the same time, there was a moment where Stephanie, was saying, hey, you guys should give her some respect because, again, Stephanie McMahon is a great role model, stuff like that. It's funny because at the end of all this, right, see Stephanie getting help by, medical staff, whatever, right? She's getting help to go back to the locker room area, right? And at all this is happening, people are booing, chanting BS, oh, you deserve it. Again, being the usual, because at the same time when Stephanie was speaking prior to this, people were chanting bullshit, shut the fuck up. You kind of get the idea. So as Stephanie was getting held back, JoJo, for some reason, got on the microphone and said, ladies and gentlemen, show at least a little bit of respect for Stephanie McMahon. And that just made everyone even go more crazy. Because why would even JoJo even say that, right? It just sounded so funny. But again, you wanted to start this show off with a banger. And let's be real about it, okay? At WrestleMania last night, Ronda Rousey silenced the critics. She literally had the best performance at WrestleMania, period. Out of everyone that had a match last night, in my honest opinion, I personally feel the way WrestleMania went out, the way it was, how it ended, Ronda should have closed the show. hands down. But let's see what happens. Will she be on Raw next week? I don't think she will. I think the next time we'll see her again is probably by the time we get to SummerSlam season, but who the hell knows, right? But again, I thought this was a good way to kick off the show. And again, it's WWE's attempt to get their ESPN and all these other article moments and shit like that on the internet. We had here as well, we had the kickoff, we had the first match of the night. We had Nia Jax with a partner of her, a new partner, versus Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. Before this match even took place, Nia Jax came out of the ring. Alexa Bliss came out as well. And they came out of the taunter pretty much how last night, she was caught off guard at WrestleMania, but how obviously right now there's no partner for her, whatever. And then Nia Jax said, hey, you know what? I proved you wrong. I'm the new champion, but you're wrong. I do have a partner. And out came Ember Moon. That's right. Ember Moon came out, and it got a reaction. People went crazy for it too. As you know as well, being that it's Raw after Mania, you're going to get these NXT call-ups. So why not? And I'll be honest, I really wish she would have stayed at NXT, because I feel like Shayna Baszler right now is still green in the ring, and you need someone for her to go at it within the ring. And yes, you have Kairi Sane, but I feel like what Kairi Sane, she just put right now just in the back burner for now in NXT. That's the vibe I get. You have you have Dakota Kai, you have Bianca Belair, which I still feel is a project in the works, but that's my take on that. But we'll see where this go. We'll see where they go with this. They had the match. It was a short match. It didn't go that far. Obviously, Ember Moon got the pin after she hit the Eclipse on Alexa Bliss for the 1-2-3. And again, you needed that too, because again, you want to show, hey, this is the new talent that we have in the women's division, and here you go. She got a big win over a former champion. And I guarantee you she'll probably use that to get a shot somewhere down the road. But at the same time, too, now that Ember Moon's on the Raw Women's roster, it's a new person, there's new blood. At the same time, I really want to know why is Mickie James still partnered up with Alexa Bliss? I still want to know, okay? Backstage, Braun Strowman and his partner Nicholas, right, the 10-year-old little boy who they won the tag titles at WrestleMania, they told Kurt Angle that they are going to relinquish the tag titles because apparently Nicholas is only still in the 4th grade, but once he finishes school, they're going to come back for the tag titles. And then little Nicholas said, everyone's going to get these hands. But that was pretty cool, pretty funny. It got a reaction, okay? So take that for what it is. Listen, and I said this last night on my WrestleMania review. I'm going to say it here again. If you are someone out there and you are still offended or still bothered so badly that this 10-year-old kid had a WrestleMania moment because a little kid won a tag title with Braun Strowman, then you need to stop taking professional wrestling way too serious. End of the day, WrestleMania is about moments. And that was a moment in itself. And to my understanding, Braun Strowman at house shows, that is a lot. So take it for what it's worth. Because of this, Kurt Angle told the bar, because the bar found out what happened, and they wanted Kurt Angle to hand over the belts again to them. And Kurt Angle said that's not going to happen because you guys lost. You guys got pinned. So because what's happening, he's going to issue a tag team eliminator, and there you go with that. And I guess the winners of this will, I guess, face the bar from what it looks like. I guess the winners of this will face the bar at the Greatest Royal Rumble for the tag titles. So we had the first match, the first eliminator match. We had the Revival versus the Club, Anderson and Gallows. And what do you expect? Of course, the Revival got the win. They went with the Shatter Machine, and they pinned Anderson. So there you go with that. Nothing really big on that, to be honest here. We also had the debut, and I didn't mention this earlier, but we had the debut of No Way Jose. That's right, No Way Jose came out and he beat John Skyler. And I'll be honest with you, you guys know my stance already on No Way Jose. I've said this numerous times on my NXT reviews. I'm not big on No Way Jose. I understand why he's now on Raw on the main roster because, hey, he's an entrant. He's a comedy act. And you know for a fact, mad people are going to go crazy for his theme song. So week after week, you're going to see people dancing around. They're going to point the camera to people dancing and shit like that. But honestly, I expect nothing from this guy. He is literally now the new Adam Rose of the Raw roster. At best. But we'll see what happens. I mean, again, of the day, he won with a knockout punch. So there you go with that. After this, we had Seth Rollins come out and celebrate his Intercontinental title win, and now he's a Grand Slam champion. He says it's crazy how he's a Grand Slam champion, and he won it on the grand stage of the Mall WrestleMania, and people were chanting, "You deserve it." And Finn Balor came out, and he pretty much said that Rollins did indeed deserve it, but let's be real about it here at the same time. The loser was The Miz. Balor didn't get pinned, and he wants a crack at Seth Rollins, which then led to The Miz to arrive to remind them that he is owed a mandatory rematch. And from what it looks like, he wants the rematch at Backlash. And Rollins offered to have the rematch right then and there. And then it looked like The Miz was going to get involved, have like a 3-on-2 attack. But then Jeff Hardy came out, his music hit, and they evened up the odds. And there you go with that. We find out that later on in the night, it was going to be a 6-person tag between the Miztourage with The Miz versus Jeff Hardy with Finn Balor and Seth Rollins to close the show. We then get Mandy Rose versus Sasha Banks. We have Bayley, who made her entrance before the match. It started and stood literally in Banks' corner. The fight spilled to the outside, and Mandy literally shoved Bayley. And she, at the same time, again, it was a distraction there as well. And Absolution, again, was distracting at ringside. Bayley tried to hit Mandy because, again, there was a little altercation there between Bayley and Mandy Rose. And all of this, it led to Bayley to instead hit Sasha Banks. And Banks got preoccupied with all this as well. And when she got in the ring, she received a running knee by Mandy Rose for the 1-2-3. So Mandy got the win here. If it looks like they're still continuing the feud between Sasha and Bayley, which next week on Raw, we're getting Bayley and Sasha. So there you go with that. After this, Paige got on the microphone and gave her emotional speech about her retiring. As you all know, she has been cleared to compete for over a year, or so it seems like, a couple months, if you will, okay? And she was not able to be at the first ever Raw Women's Rumble, nor the Chamber match, nor the Raw Women's Battle at WrestleMania. So tonight she announced her retirement. And you know what? It got a good reaction. It's sad to see her career end short, but in her time that she was as an in-ring competitor, she accomplished so many things. Now, you think about it too, Bryan got cleared again. Who's to say somewhere down the road Paige gets cleared as well? We'll see. We'll find out as time goes on. All right. After this, we had Elias in the ring. And he pretty much ran down the WrestleMania crowd, performed a special concert. And then he was interrupted by the returning Bobby Lashley. That's right. Bobby Lashley returned, and it got a crazy reaction. People went insane. So it seemed like. Keep this in mind. Apparently, early in the day, there was a picture that leaked out, and I guess it's a production or the tech team, whatever, and they had like a picture of the word that said Bobby Lashley. So they kind of spoiled it, but hey, it got a reaction, and he literally beat up Elias. He lifted him up for like a hanging suplex. Literally had him up there for a while, then dropped him with a suplex to close that segment. I mean, listen, I'm happy that he's back. And I said this before. I said this when I was reviewing TNA a while back. Bobby Lashley now, right? He is a better wrestler now than he was 10 years ago. Like, he is literally now the wrestler that WWE wanted him to be 10 years ago. And this is real about it. The guy can go. Anyone that's watched him in TNA, they know for a fact he can go in the ring. Had some killer matches with EC3, Drew Galloway, or now Drew McIntyre. He had some killer matches with Brian Cage a couple weeks ago on Impact, even though that was taped months ago. But you kind of get the idea. The guy can go in the ring, and I expect nothing but good things from him in WWE now. There's been talks of him and Brock Lesnar going at it, but we'll see where that goes as well. But again, it's good to see him back. Backstage, we had Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens approaching Kurt Angle in his office looking for a job. And Angle pretty much said, hey, listen, this roster is full right now, especially you guys beating up general managers. But Sami Zayn said, hey, that was the past. And there's a personal issue there on SmackDown Live. But Kurt Angle with the joke of the night, hey, listen, my roster is full right now with the tag team divisions. I heard TNA is hiring. Taking a jab there. And listen, end of the day, for all the TNA fanboys that get offended by that line, understand this. Understand this, motherflowers. TNA is dead. It's no longer TNA. It's now Impact Wrestling. When you think about it, too, the founder of TNA is now a WWE Hall of Famer. So take that for what it's worth. End of the day, I feel personally Impact Wrestling has improved from where it was, over a year ago or so. And really, to be honest, I am looking forward to watching Redemption in a couple of weeks. I might even review the show. So take that for what it's worth as well. So Salrex, if you're listening to this, get started on that Redemption overlay. All right? Just saying. But there you go with that. And apparently, all this led to Kurt Angle saying that he only has one spot open on the roster, and both Owens and Zayn are going to fight for it. So that was literally the match later on in the night. We then had in the ring Heath Slater and Rhino, and they felt disrespected for being left out of the tag team eliminator, being that, hey, they were the first ever SmackDown tag team champions, and they issued a challenge to anyone in the back. And who knows? And guess who answered the challenge? The Authors of Pain with Paul Ellering. The match was a squash match, literally a squash match. They ended up hitting the last chapter, and then they got the pinfall win. And after this, it seemed like they parted ways with Paul Ellering, because they told him to stay back, and they walked by themselves. Now, you got to understand this. Paul Ellering, at his age, cannot handle the traveling all over the world with the main roster. And there was talks a while back when the Authors of Pain were to hit the main roster that Paul Ellering would not be joining them. So at the same time, it's kind of sad because you think about it, Paul Ellering was part of that whole thing to make it work. But at the same time, hey, it's understandable. Now, if it was up to me, this is me being honest here right now. Two things you could do with him right now. You could either do Paul Heyman with the Authors of Pain, because why the hell not, right? Just saying. Or if not, you can make the Authors of Pain partnered up. Imagine this with Samoa Joe. Or if now with fucking Roman. But that'll never happen. But you kind of get the idea. At the same time, I kind of get the whole notion that, hey, they need to start speaking now. If you think about it, Paul Ellering was that mouthpiece for them, because they never spoke English. So we'll see. After this, Roman Reigns came out of the ring, and everyone started booing him. You kind of get the idea. Booing him, chanting, you deserve the beating from last night at WrestleMania. It's funny, though. Roman Reigns had stitches on his head, but still managed to get that fresh shape up. Good for you, Roman. Good for you. As you all know, we found out early in the day that Brock Lesnar has indeed re-signed with WWE, and that at the Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia in a couple of weeks on the WWE Network, it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar again, this time inside of a steel cage. Now, I get people's frustration that, they used the WrestleMania match as a build-up to lead up to the Greatest Royal Rumble. Listen, at the end of the day, this is so hilarious from wrestling fans nowadays. A lot of you did not want Roman to win at WrestleMania. Let's be real about it. And Brock wins, and people still complain. I don't get it. Granted, I thought the match sucked last night, but let's keep it 100 here, right? You guys don't know what the fuck you want. End of the fucking day. Okay? So Roman comes out, he talks about the Greatest Royal Rumble, he's going to beat Brock Lesnar this time, what have you, and then out comes Samoa Joe, calls Roman a failure, says that he's been exposed, he's been all talk, but he ended up failing at WrestleMania, and it's fine that he can go to the Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia and fight Brock Lesnar all the hell he wants, but Samoa Joe will wait for the winner of those two at Backlash. So we're building up a feud at Backlash as well. Now, it's probably going to happen. I believe that WWE or Vince, if you will, finally pull the trigger. He will have that special moment in Saudi Arabia. Because, again, you want something crazy to happen on this first show. So I believe Brock will drop the title at Saudi Arabia against Roman Reigns. And we have the build-up to Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe at Backlash. And why the hell not? I think, honestly, that'll be a good feud. But who the hell knows? Maybe we'll have, Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. At the same time, though, it's funny how Samoa Joe talked about, you faced Brock and you failed. But at the same time, Samoa Joe lost to Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire. But I guess, we're supposed to forget that, right? Just saying. We then get the second tag team eliminator. We get Titus Worldwide versus the debut, I guess, of the tag team, if you will, of Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. Woken Matt Hardy. Hardy got the pin on Apollo after hitting a combination Sister Abigail Twist of Fate. They will face the Revival next week, and the winner, I guess, of that will end up facing the Bar at the Greatest Royal Rumble. So there you go with that. Again, I thought this match was just there just to get the reaction of that tag team of Bray Wyatt and Woken Matt. We have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens going at it, and this match was probably the best match on the night. Let's be real about it. Every time they go at it, they always tear the house down. No doubt about it. They always fucking deliver. All right? These two guys can wrestle in their sleep and probably have a better match, or an amazing match as well. This match, again, went back and forth, near fall here. It had a slow start, I will say that, and then it just picked up, and it picked up, and it picked up. People were chanting "Fight Forever," sign both these guys. Yeah, Kurt Angle watching on a monitor. Jonathan Coachman saying, "I bet you Kurt Angle probably regrets putting this match and wish he could have signed both guys." Eventually, both guys, they were both knocked out, and they issued a double count out. So neither men gets a contract. People were booing. People were chanting TNA, TNA at the same time. Honestly, I get the feeling tomorrow on SmackDown, they'll be there on SmackDown Live as well. They'll try to do something similar as well. I don't even know. But at the same time, I think, this build-up right now, again, they were fired. They lost at WrestleMania. They came to Raw, trying to get their jobs back. It came up short because they probably thought, hey, we both get counted out. Then they have to continue the match or do the rematch again, which they might will. They probably might when you think about it too. Or if not, they probably go to SmackDown tomorrow and probably continue something going there with Shane and Bryan. We'll see. All right. We then get, before this, we had a backstage segment with Jeff Hardy, Finn Balor, and Ronda. They're walking towards the ring, and Jeff Hardy bumps into his brother, Woken Matt, and Bray Wyatt. They hug it out. They have that funny moment there, Brother Nero and all of that. So there you go with that. And then Rollins and Balor like, what the hell was that all about? And Jeff Hardy just walked away. And then we had the main event, Jeff Hardy, Finn Balor, and Seth Rollins versus The Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas. I'll be honest. Yes, it was a fun match, all you want, but it just felt like a house show match. It felt like some shit I would see if I went to a house show. I felt like something was missing from this match. Again, it was an okay match. It's back and forth, all you want. Rollins got the pin on The Miz after a curb stomp. And after the match, all three men hit their finishers on Axel and Bo Dallas to close the show. But again, I felt like something was missing from this. Maybe a heel turn or something crazy backstage with Roman Reigns or something like that, just to get people to go, ooh, you know what I mean? Because I feel like, again, the Raw after Mania, you always want to do something crazy to launch the next season. Yes, granted, we're getting a superstar shakeup again. And let's be real about it too. I feel like SmackDown will benefit more from this, but we'll see what they're going to get. The SE call-ups, I'll be honest, when I posted on Twitter, if I can go back and just find my tweet where I posted this, my predictions for who I thought were going to make their, Raw debut tonight from NXT to the main roster. This is who I put out, and it's fine. I put AOP, which they debuted. I put Andrade Cien with Zelina Vega. That didn't happen. Probably happen tomorrow. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, which did not happen either. And Johnny Gargano. Lashley made a surprise return, which was great. So did Samoa Joe. But I personally feel tomorrow on SmackDown Live, who are going to make their SmackDown Live debuts from the NXT, Gargano. And here's why. I say Gargano because you think about it too, yeah, I get it. Oh, but he just won his career back at NXT. Granted, but I feel like the way it works, hey, you had to get employed again to be eligible to go to the main roster. That's how I look at it. Okay? Andrade Cien, let's face it, almost has nothing to do now at NXT. Why the hell not? Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, you have to bring them both together. You just can't have one on one brand, one on the other brand. You can't do that. And probably maybe, just for the hell of it, the Street Profits. That's who I feel will probably coming up tomorrow. Or if not, from a woman's perspective, another woman, I'll say, why not Dakota Kai? Why the hell not? But we'll see. Overall, again, Raw tonight, I felt like it was a good show for what it was, but I feel like the ending, something was missing. But again, we're getting the superstar. We're getting the superstar shakeup next week for both Raw and SmackDown. We got some build up at least to Backlash and as well to the Greatest Royal Rumble event happening in Saudi Arabia. But that's my thoughts overall. Let me hear from you down below in the comment thread. Your thoughts on tonight's show of Raw. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know. All right. Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven, where I tweet throughout all these shows, like I mentioned, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, pay-per-views as well. Tomorrow I'll be back with my SmackDown Live review. Listen, this past weekend as a whole, I recapped so much stuff. I recapped the Impact Wrestling vs. Lucha Underground show. I recapped TakeOver New Orleans. I recapped Supercard of Honor 12 from Ring of Honor, Kenny Omega versus Cody. I recapped WrestleMania last night. So I'm in some way exhausted. I think after this week, I might take a little break. I'm not even sure. Who the fuck knows? But anywho, guys, if you're new to the channel, hit that sub button. We're almost at 1,600 YouTube subscribers. You awesome, sick mother flowers. That's it for me, guys. It's wrestling and whatever. It's me. It's Steve. And I'm out like Janet's titties. Yeah, mother flowers.